Good evening everyone and welcome to TGP2 Week 3, rounds 5 and 6 here at Monza and then Monaco, which will be coming up a bit later. And just as you join us, you see Jack Pearson setting a 119.4. The championship leader is on pole position at the moment. Behind him is in second place is Mike Noonan. He is second in the championship as well. And then you have a Luca in third. As I say, we've got two classic tracks tonight, Monza and Monaco, two legendary circuits. We all know them, we all know the corners, and they've got corner names as well, which is good. And to watch the races with me, as he was there yesterday for the TGP1, is Roy. Hello, Roy.
Good evening, Daniel. I'm very much looking forward to tonight's races. Yesterday provided us with two thrillers, and hopefully we'll get more of the same tonight.
Yeah, they were two very, very good races yesterday. A bit frustrating for me personally, but yeah, they were very fun to watch, especially the closing laps around Monza, and hopefully we'll see the same here in TGP2 with a lot of slipstreaming and DRSing and everything down these long straights, this temple of speeds.
Yeah, hopefully we will be able to recreate that action as we watch Sayer Sports in the Ferrari head towards the Parabolica, currently running in P9 with a 120.7. The Ferrari driver will be looking to improve on that. Where can he go now as he rounds the final corner at the Temple of Speed? Don't want to run all four wheels off. He keeps well within the white lines. Heads up to the line now and he sets a 120.1 to take himself up to provisional P5. So very solid effort from the Ferrari driver.
Not bad at all then. So you see Smokey J's is fairly close as well into second place. But those top two, Jack and Mike, they are the two drivers who've set pole in both races so far this season. The two drivers have got pole, 2 poles each. And Mike nearly loses it on his lap as he's just about to start a new lap and he nearly lost it. I think he's pretty much ruined it already out of the first chicane, but he'll probably keep pushing. But if Mike was to get both pole positions tonight, he would go on to 29 pole positions, which would be the joint record with Dom. No, sorry, that's victories. I apologise, that's victories. If he was to get 2 poles tonight, he would take second place on the pole list with 26. And Joe Sayer will overtake Joe Sayer, who's got 25. If he wins both races tonight, he will equal Dom's record. So Dom's record under threat, but this lap is not going to threaten the top spot for Mike. And he's got a Ferrari now. Look at this, he's right by a Ferrari. And I don't know if the Ferrari's on a lap, is it?
I'm not quite sure. I think if it's Sayer Sports, he's on his way in. I believe Dom is now on a lap. And his Mercedes teammate Jack Pearson actually believed that Dom is the favourite for Monza. So let's see if Dom can actually live up to this. He's exited the first chicane now. Let's see what his first sector is like as he travels through the Curva Grande easily flat out. And you want to keep a tight line. And what can the Mercedes driver do in sector 1? He's just 400th down. I believe that's on pole position. So can he keep it neat and tight through the second chicane? Yes, he can as he heads down into Lesmo 1. Going to keep a nice tight line. Make use of the banking, use all of the road into Lesmo 2. Don't want to go too wide here. He keeps it within the track limits. Very nicely done. DRS wide open now as he heads down on the run to Ascari, slightly downhill under the oval. And let's see what his sector 2 time is like. He is a 10th down on Jack Pearson at the moment. Now Ascari, very easy place to invalidate.
I think that's his lap, isn't it?
I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure it's their lap, unless it's been updated.
I think I had it set to pole position, but then again I think I made that mistake last night. But I'll find out. I'll check after the qualifying session is done. As Dom heads up to the line now, he's getting a bit of a tow from his teammate. And he sets a 119.7, so he goes up onto the front row. I think Jack Pearson has just started a lap. I think we'll go on board now with the championship leader as he heads down into the first chicane. Little bit deep into turn 1, which compromises exit out of turn 2. It's not what the Mercedes driver was looking for. But of course he still is on provisional pole. But through Curva Grande he goes, going a little bit wider than perhaps he should be. Probably save a few hundreds by going a bit tighter there. And is his first sector any good? It's a 10th down. It's not what he needed, but can he fight time through the rest of the lap? Very nice through the second chicane, hits both apexes. Lesmo 1, let's see now. He's gone a little bit deep, a little bit away from the apex there. Lesmo 2, let's see what his entry and exit speeds are like. It's looking solid through there. Car nice and steady. DRS wide open now on the run down to Ascari. Slightly downhill. and he's already over to the right hand side of the track to open up the entry of Ascari. He's only half a tenth down. It's a purple middle sector for the Mercedes driver, very steady through Ascari. Yes, he's kept the car nice and straight and settled as he heads down now to Parabolica. Diagonal is straight for the shortest route, and can he hit the apex for Parabolica? Just about. He's kept it within all the white lines as he heads down now into the pit lane. So okay, that's a bit of an anticlimax, but still we got a full lap pretty much.
Yeah,
it just didn't matter.
He looked like he was on it through Ascari, but yeah, then he obviously backed out. Maybe he was just down slightly and preferred a final run on fresh tyres, but he worked it out well with Dom getting that slipstream, didn't he?
Yeah, Mercedes team playing tactics, and it's working so far. I mean, they're currently 1 and 2, although Mike Noon is about to start a lap.
Yeah, and we've got Sam Hickey as well coming around the Parabolica now. We had that really bad luck in Brazil last week, remember. He is quick. Can he... so he's going to pit there, but no, he's just taking a shot, just runs the line, and he goes second, just behind Jack, by literally just a few thousandths of a second. And, well, I think he'll be quite pleased with that.
Yeah, very solid effort.
I'm not sure if he'll get another run in, though. I don't think he will.
No, I think that'll be it for Sam Hickman. He'll have to wait until the end of the session and see what the other drivers can do, but both Mercedes drivers are in the pits, but they will have enough time. Smokey J's on an out lap, and of course Mike Noon is currently on a lap.
Yeah. He's invalidated! He's invalidated the lap. He's gone too wide there in a second Lesmo, and that's it. It's game over for Mike Noon. He'll start no higher than 4th. He might lose a few other positions as well. Got loads of drivers who will still, of course, go for one final run. I suppose Mike Noon, if he backs off, and if he's got the fuel, he could go one more time.
I think so, yeah. He needs to have the ERS management, or the ERS deployment available to him, but he might just be able to do it. But actually, let's have a look.
Yeah, it does look like he's got... He is definitely going to go again. Yeah, he's absolutely going to go again. But tell you what, it's a bit awkward now because he's starting his lap just with all these drivers on the out laps, and they'll want to get round there as well to make sure they can cross the line in time. We don't want a Monza 2019 situation here. I'm not really sure many teams are looking ready for the tow. There's no teammates that close together. I can see the two Renaults are very close together at the moment, but what can Mike Noon do? He absolutely has to nail this lap. First sector, he's 2 tenths up, I think, on his lap. I think. Oh, look at him through that second chicane there.
See, maybe it's possible that we have different settings on each of our screens. But
I didn't know. I've got to say, I didn't know you could change it, but
neither did I. But I thought that's what I said.
I suppose it's possible. Here comes Mike Noon then. He's about to enter the Ascari. Look at that, right up to the edge of the track. There's a yellow flag ahead of him, but that's okay. Oh, it's gone way wide, totally missed the curb. That will have lost him a lot of time. But can he get a bit of a slipstream now from this Ferrari? Yes, he does. Pulls out. That will have helped him slightly, but he did completely miss that curb there. Smokey J's has gone 3rd on a 119.7. That's put Mike Noon down to 5th. Round the Parabolica for Mike Noon. He'll take, hopefully, the shortest run to the line. Can he get on that front row? Can he beat Jack? No, he stays 5th. He did improve, but it was only marginal, and well, he hasn't even improved a position.
And I think both Mercedes drivers are currently on
Sean!
laps.
Oh my goodness me, a 119.1 from Bossman Sean. That come out of nowhere. 119.1 for the Alfa Romeo driver. That's incredible.
I was going to actually mention Bossman Sean. I was going to say he's going to be disappointed to be down, and I believe it was P12 at the time. And well, I mean, he's just. Well, I think he'll be happy with that. I mean, pole position can't do any better, but what can the Mercedes drivers do? Jack Pearson is currently heading down to Ascari. He's 800th down on
he's down
a lap of some sort, and out of Ascari he's kept the car nice and settled, but what can the Mercedes driver do in the final sector? Can he find the time he needs to take pole position?
Dom's gone off, Luca Giapelli's gone 2nd. It's all gone pear-shaped for Mercedes at the end of this session. Jack Pearson round the final corner. Can he at least get back on the front row? We're about to find out. He might get a tow from the Red Bull. No, he does not. So it's Bossman Sean and Giapelli, Luca Giapelli on the front row then. Bossman Sean on pole.
Very impressive stuff. And I believe I believe that's it. Everyone has set their laps. Let's see if I can actually check something here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have all.
Let's not.
They've all set their laps, so it is going to be Alfa Romeo on pole then. 3rd different pole sitter this season. And a lap that took us all by surprise. Apologies, we've totally missed a lap. But he is on pole and he will be absolutely delighted with that. He's 6th in the championship, so maybe this is what he needs to kickstart his season.
As the camera joins Baza via the chase cam. Baza qualified in P8. And let's run through the running order, the qualifying order. So Bossman Sean on pole, as you said, Mr. Chiapelli completing the front row. Jack Pearson, the championship leader, takes P3 ahead of Sam Hickman for Haas. Smokey Jays rounds out the top 5 for Racing Point with Dom Smith on the 3rd row. Mike Noon is in P7 with his teammate F1 Baza in P8, followed by Sayer Sports, and Blair Grills completes the top 10, followed by M. Shep, Indecisive Mackie, Angel vs. Death, Sir Tom Penguin, and then at the end of the grid we've got Alex Zaffro, Red Bull Kim, the Haas driver, Dark Shadow, and Nell Jack, who did not set a time after crashing earlier on in the session, and North Korean driver Chris, who was disqualified earlier on in the session. Unsure if that was a qualifying ban or if that was an incident that we didn't pick up, but he'll be starting at the back either way.
So it's a really fascinating grid then for this race coming up here in Monza, and it's a nice sunny day, which is good to see. No rain. Will we get rain later in Monaco? That wet Monaco race. Monza has been on the calendar every year in F1 apart from 1 year. What year, Roy?
Couldn't tell you, unfortunately. I thought... Oh, wait, do you mean Monaco or Monza?
No, I mean Monza. I definitely mean Monza.
Oh, okay,
It was 1980. They were doing refurbishments, apparently, according to the Wikipedia page.
I'm sure Phil Bardwell remembers it well.
Yes, that was the first, and that was the first time they raced at Imola. For the first time that year.
We are too young.
Yes.
But,
yeah. Here we go then. We're about to get underway at Monza, at the Temple of Speed. The 5 lights come on. Can Bossman Sean nail the start? Lights out and away we go. I have to say, Chiapelli got a far better getaway. And will he take the lead? Look at Jack Pearson as well. He's also launched off. It's going to be so close going into turn 1. Chiapelli does have the lead. For a racer point almost on the grass there. Chiapelli keeps the lead into turn 1. And look at Jack Pearson, maintains 3rd. Sam Hickey 4th. There's a bit of an incident towards the back, I think. I'm pretty sure Dark Shadow's been involved in the crash. Yes, he has. But Luca got the whole shot. Got the start nailed. Oh, wow, look at that. They make contact there, Sam Hickey and Jack Pearson. Oh, man, keep it on the road.
Oh, as we see,
Sam Hickey, what's he doing? Going for a big dive bomb in the second chicane, and that cost him massively. And Bossman Sean, the pole man, has gone from first to the back because of that. And Smokey Jays as well has just almost lost it and lost the position to Jack as well. Virtual safety car, crazy start.
Oh, as we see a Renault in the background, I think that's Alex Zaffro.
Alex Zaffro.
And he's spun back on. He had no control of his car. Well, it's a chaotic first lap here in Monza. At the end of it, it's Mr. Chiapelli with the 3-second lead, although it is under virtual safety car. That could very well change. But still, look at the gap he's got. He's
way clear of anyone else already. Wow. Well, I have to say, I don't know how that didn't end up being a much bigger crash as you go through Curva Grande. I saw 3 cars make contact and somehow they all kept it on the road, but then it was into the second chicane that Sam Hickey went for a bit of a dive bomb on Bossman Sean, and they made contact, and Bossman Sean is right at the back. Meanwhile, we're back underway in this race, Roy.
Yeah, we're back underway now, and it's potentially a chaotic restart here. We've got a lot of cars heading into turn 1 together as Bossman Sean picks up a 5-second penalty. Dom Smith running in P5, but Sayer Sports now getting past the Mercedes driver for that 5th position. And I think it wasn't the cleanest of restarts for Dom Smith, a bit of a messy one there, but Luca Chiapelli has got a 2.7 second lead now that the gaps are settled. As you see Bossman Sean and Sir Tom Penguin in the pit lane. Alex Zaffro, it seems, did not actually sustain any damage from that earlier incident.
And Bossman Sean actually had to queue as well in the pit lane because indecisive head more so hits it. So what an absolute disaster that is for Bossman Sean after putting in such a brilliant lap in qualifying. He's now right at the back, and really, unless there's a safety car, that's probably his race over.
Yeah, absolute disaster for the Alfa Romeo driver, as Smokey Jays is just half a second now behind Jack Pearson. Can he threaten the Englishman for second place? The Dane is now right up to the back of Jack, and he'll be looking to make a move down into the first corner. Can he pull it off?
This is where we have DRS deployed there now. Oh, and Tom goes very wide to parabolic, and almost does a Charles Leclerc there, but just keeps it on the road. He'll be going for 5th place, but in fact it's allowed Bazza to possibly pounce now. Meanwhile, Smokey Jays, can he get into second place? Into the first corner, into the braking zone. Jack Pearson just stays ahead. Mike Noon is in 4th, Sayre Sports 5th. Bazza gets Dom for 6th then, and Dom, who was lining up a move on Joe Sayre, made an error and ends up going down to 7th.
And Smokey Jays is not giving up on Jack. Will he make a move to the inside? Yes, he will. Can he get a move down into the second chicane? No, but they make contact. Oh,
disaster for Smokey Jays, and he's going to lose a load of positions. Will he end up making contact with anybody? No, luckily he is ghosted, and, well, he's now in 11th place. Well, that chicane is really causing some incidents this afternoon.
And Smokey Jays, he spun at Lesmo 1, or did he make contact with Chris?
The tyres must be totally... Yeah, we might have made contact, but anyway, Smokey Jays, a disaster. He made that edit in Suzuka last week as well, and he's made another one right there. Meanwhile, look at Dom.
Oh no!
We've got an AlphaTauri in the wall. It's M-Shep, and well, I think he was standing in for Mr. John tonight, and he is now in the wall. And we've got a safety car, and Luca is just at the pit entry. Wow. Well, how lucky can you be? He's just at the pit entry. How fortunate for Luca there. Imagine if that came out just a few seconds later. Could have been possible trouble.
And I believe everybody is coming into the pits, and I mean, of course, why wouldn't you? Even if you have to queue, it's worth it. But no, somebody's staying out. It is Red Bull Kim, who takes the lead of the race for Haas. It is Red Bull Kim from Luca Chiapelli and Jack Pearson as the drivers file back out onto the circuit.
Look at Mike Noon. Mike Noon is on hard tyres. Now, surely that... I can't imagine he's done that deliberately. I suppose he might have done with an earlier stop, but sometimes the game can put you on the harder tyres if you don't change it, and that might be what's happened there for Mike Noon. That could be a bit of a disadvantage for him.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta be honest, I can't understand Red Bull Kim's decision to stay out. He has caught the safety car, so it's not like he had an extra lap to spare, so I think he might as well just pit now. This is good news for Bossman Sean, although he does have a 5-second penalty for, I believe he...
Yeah, he was speeding, I think, didn't he?
Yeah, so Sertan Penguin and Indecisive Mackie, I believe they've stayed out on their hard tyres. So Bossman Sean is elected to pit, and I would guess put the mediums on. I think it's a bit too early for the soft tyre. Yes, he does indeed put the medium tyres on and rejoins at the back of the grid, or well, will rejoin when he catches the train. But yeah, so the net positions as things stand, it's Luca from Jack, from Mike Noon, Joe Sayre and Dom Smith in P5.
Well, if I remember correctly, this was the track where a few years ago on one of the F1 games where Red Bull Kim discovered the glitch with the safety car, and if I remember correctly, I think it was at the second game. They hit the safety car! He has actually hit the safety car. We were just talking about the glitch he found, and now he's gone into the back of the safety car. Well, he's surely got the pit now.
Yeah, does he? Yes, I believe he does. Teleported into the pit lane. He lagged on my screen there, but yeah, that's perhaps the less said the better on that one. That was a severe misjudgment. But the Danish driver now into the pits. The Haas team will be quite bemused by that one. But well, wow. He will rejoin amazingly ahead of Bossman Sean. Quite a long way ahead of Bossman Sean, actually. Will Bossman Sean even catch the queue at this rate? But Yeah, that was an interesting incident, one could say.
Yeah, it was certainly a thing that happened. You can say for sure. But so when we get this race restarted, then there's only going to be one driver on track who will actually have a penalty at this point, with all the pit stops that have happened, which will let the penalties be saved, which is just Alex Afro with that 3 seconds in 9th place. Everybody else is penalty free for now, of course, but this is going to be a frantic restart, and they are going to be going to make positions. We will have 7 laps to go, I'm assuming, if the safety car is in this lap, and we won't have another safety car or major safety car after this.
The highest driver on the soft compound tyre is Dark Shadow from McLaren in P8, although he has been on these since the end of lap 1, so he's looking to do 12 laps on these tyres. That could get a bit dodgy. Of course, Mike Noon is on the hard tyres. We don't know if that was a mix-up in the pit lane or if that was strategical, but Monza is probably one of the better tracks to be in this situation at, let's say, because there's less cornering, of course, but still, it's every little helps in these situations.
Got a collision with really Angel versus Death as well there as you were backing the pack up. Look at that. There's a great shot on my screen of all the cars there all together. There we go. How long is Luca going to keep them healthy? They're getting so close together behind.
My camera is still at the back, unfortunately. Oh, here we go.
There we go. When is he going to drop it? You'd imagine it would be... Well, he's going to drop it right now. Earlier than I thought he would into the parabolic of the final corner to nail the restart. Jack is going to be under immediate threat, I think, here from Mike Noon with the hard tyres. Meanwhile, further behind, Say Sports might be under threat as well from Dom, but Mike Noon is going to surely shape up a move on those hard tyres on Jack Pearson for 2nd place. It's the top 2 in the championship. Into the braking zone. Can Jack maintain the position? Mike Noon might try and get him on the outside. They've touched again. Jack Pearson is contact again, but he keeps 3rd.
I think that was silly stuff from Mike. He should have backed out of that. Jack had the corner, but he still, remains in P3. All is not lost, and he still has his wing intact, so that's good for him. Luca Giapelli still has the lead. He's 1 second clear, or now 8/10 clear of Jack in 2nd place.
Well, this is brilliant stuff for Say Sports then in 4th place after all this, and it looks like we've got some more contact with the Dark Shadow is out of the race. Dark Shadow is out of the race. Chris Johnson's got a damaged front wing as well, and Sam Hickey pitted. I wonder if he got damage on the safety car restart. He made contact with another driver. It's constant bad luck for Sam Hickey, it seems, in TGP2.
Yeah, I would assume so. I believe he must not have expected the pack to back up like that, as Dom picks up a 3-second penalty for cutting the entrance of the Ascari chicane. Sayre Sports running very wide on the exit of Ascari. Can Dom make a move into turn 1?
We've got a move, as it looks like at the back, very close between Blair Grills and Alex Afro. Blair Grills, can he keep the 7th place? He goes a bit wide into parabolic, and that will put Alex Afro right there, and it should get him into 7th place, you would imagine, down the main straight. No DRS just yet. In fact, Alex Afro has hardly any ERS left, but he's still going to try it. Dom Smith, meanwhile, can't get to Sayre Sports on this lap, so it's going to be these two, the 7th and 8th, side by side. This is the main battle. Very late on the brakes, the McLaren, but Alex Afro just edges ahead.
Very well done from the Renault driver. Yeah, ERS deployment is it's crucial in a race like Monza because it's full of long straights and braking zones. It's all about where you deploy it sometimes, and we see Chris Johnson into the pits, so not a good day for the Ferrari driver.
Jack Pearson looks to have closed a little bit on Luca here on this lap, 7/10. Look, he's got on the grass a little bit there in the second Lesmo, but got away with it this time around. Mike Noon still maintaining that 3rd place on those hard tyres. We've got a yellow flag, so someone must have gone off. Looks like it's probably Red Bull Kim. It is Red Bull Kim.
Yes.
After he's probably still a bit dazed from that safety car instance a few laps ago.
I'm sure his Haas mechanics are as well, as Jack picks up a 3-second penalty.
I think I'm right in saying a DRS will be deployed now for this lap.
I believe so. Let's see as Luca crosses the line. I don't think Jack will get it on this lap though, because the detection point is on the previous lap, and yes, DRS has been enabled, so from this lap onwards DRS will be enabled.
Well, we've got Dom Smith without the DRS, possibly going for Sayre Sports on 4th place here. If he's late on the brakes he might fancy it, but Joe Sayer stays ahead and keeps the position.
But can Dom get a run now as now Jack picks up another 3-second penalty? Can the Mercedes driver pass the Ferrari into the second chicane here in Monza? He's got a good run through the Curva Grande. He's only 2/10 back, and I don't think he's going to be close enough. He's just a bit too far back.
Indeed, yeah, and Mike Noon's got a penalty. That's big. That is crucial for the championship. Mike Noon, second in the championship, has got a penalty with Luca leading as well. Luca may very well be taking second place at the end of this race. Jack still in second on the road in this race. And Mike Noon now could be under real threat of, well, we could be looking at a Sire Sports podium here.
We could very well be doing so, because yeah, at the moment that would drop Mike, I believe, back to P6. So yeah, Mike Noon needs to get on with it, but the problem is he is on those hard tyres. And what's going on through the exit of Ascari here? We've got Dom is now past Joe, I believe. I believe Joe has actually made a mistake on the exit of Ascari. And
yeah,
Baza
I think he had
up to 5th.
Yeah, the dodgy run there through Ascari, and he's just lost 2 positions there. He might try and get 5th place back, though. It looks like we've got it. Is that Chris Johnson? No, it's Indecisive, I think, who's spun. So really terrible day for Alfa Romeo then. But Sire Sports is going to line up Baza to try and get back that 5th place that he thinks he deserves. Oh, Baza nearly gets it back at Dom! Oh my word, very late on the brakes. And well, he's very lucky that that did not cause an incident with the Mercedes, and he does a Sebastian Vettel through the polystyrene blocks there, and again gets a penalty for it.
Yeah, he just about got out of the incident, but he did still pick up a penalty. I don't believe Dom would have sustained any damage, so it's as you were when it comes to his race. But yeah, Baza making a crucial mistake there in his efforts to defend the position from Joe.
Well, Sire Sports can just keep his head here and not get any penalties. He will be looking at a podium, I believe. If he can keep within Mike Nguyen anyway, provided he doesn't pull away and Sire Sports doesn't get himself caught too much in these battles. Jack is now, look at this, it's less than 8 tenths now, and just to say that it goes to 8 tenths between Luca and Jack. We will have DRS next time round. Just looking at the ERS deployment, Luca's using it right now. He's got 15% coming into this braking zone. Jack's on 33, so Jack does have the advantage on that, but I think overall Luca seems to be the quicker driver. It could just come down in the end to the toys that they have available to use.
And Jack, of course, will have DRS now heading down this pit straight, but Baza is not letting Joe go, not letting Sire Sports go, and he's got his DRS wide open. He's not going to be close enough, but the Red Bull driver giving the Ferrari something to worry about.
He is indeed, yeah. Jack has had a very good run through the first chicane as well, so he's just continuing to close that gap.
As Smokey Jays gets his way past. Smokey Jays, he locked up into turn 1, went a bit deep, but he's got past Blair Grills.
Incredible race for Bossman Sean, then started on pole, then he was off the back, now he's in the very middle of the field, and we've got an instance, haven't we? It's Angel versus Death.
Well, I don't know if his steering wheel is disconnected in the middle of Curva Grande, because that's not a place where you'd normally crash.
But
yeah, that's not good for the Williams driver. He's now out of the race.
Unfortunate stuff then for Angel versus Death in the Williams. Williams have not had a great start to this season in the Constructors. Meanwhile, at the front, it is still a second, and Jack should have DRS through here. But Dom seems like he's closing in on Mike Nguyen here for 3rd.
But Baza is now right all over the back of Sire Sports for P5. I think Dom will just be a little bit too far back, but can Baza in the Red Bull get past the Ferrari driver into turn 1? His DRS is going to be wide open. Yes, it is. It's open now. Can the Red Bull driver get past? But yeah, it's no contest really. Joe taking the racing line, letting Baza go through. He knows he's got that penalty. Joe can just sit back. He can afford to let him go through, and it's a nice move from Baza.
Bossman Sean gets into 9th place as well on Nell Jack. I'm pretty sure these guys, it's all 3-second penalties for these guys. I will have a quick check. No, Baza's got a 6-second penalty in fact, so could be really costly for Baza. Nell Jack's also got a 6-second penalty, and then Sam Hickey's got a 10-second one. The rest have all got 3. It's again, as you were with these two at the front, less than a second separating them, but Jack just can't close in.
Yeah, it was getting a little bit tighter up at the front, but I think Luca, he just needs to hold on for another 2 laps and 1 sector, and the victory will be for the AlphaTauri driver. AlphaTauri kind of getting used to winning at the Italian Grand Prix at this point.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, could be repeating real life there if he can keep it on the road and keep it in the lead for the next 2 laps then. But Dom is really close to Mike Noon now, and of course this is with 4 possible podium now. Bazza is 2.8 seconds behind behind Dom, which then means of course Say Sports will be completely out of the gap that he would gain. And here we go, he's going for the podium on Mike Noon. He's fighting for the championship, but Dom just goes, yeah, I'll have that position please. And oh, Mike Noon tries to maybe get him back into the corner, but Dom has their place, and we have 2 Mercedes on the podium, which is very good for their constructors fight.
And I believe Red Bull Kim has had another incident on the exit of Ascari, or actually I believe that actually might be Sam Hickey.
Yeah, but look at this, look how close it is at the minute between Chris Thurgood and Alex Afro and Nel Jack. They're all very close together. Chris just got into 8th place the first again. Oh, and he's going for Bossman Sean. What a move.
I don't know if
he's got on the gravel. Well, from my camera angle, it looked like he was a nice move, but yeah, was it a bit of a dive bomb?
Yeah, it didn't look the cleanest of manoeuvres from my camera angle, but I think that may have to be settled in the steward's room later on. Chris has, at the moment, is actually letting him through. I think he's conceded that one as his own fault. But I think Bossman Sean has still lost place to Alex Afro he's got him.
Oh no! Dear.
Oh no! Disaster for the North Korean driver. Oh dear.
He is completely crashed and burned there, Chris Thurgood. That all went a bit pear-shaped for him on that particular lap. Final lap though, meanwhile, and it is still a second between the top 2. Mike Noon is closing in though to get Dom back for 3rd. Bossman Sean, has he just got 7th off Alex Afro? Yes, he has. And can he maintain 7th? He can. Half a second all of a sudden between top 2. It's amazing how the gap's just being fluctuating with less than a second throughout the entire race.
But it's Luca who has a major ERS advantage, 41% versus 14%. So I think the AlphaTauri driver, as long as he can keep it clean, which he has on the exit of the Lesmo 2, neither driver has any penalties. It's just Ascari left to go, where they just need to keep it clean, keep it neat, and they will take positions 1 and 2. But can Luca just keep it valid through here? Yes, he can, and yeah, it's looking very, very good for the AlphaTauri driver on his way home.
It is indeed. As you mentioned earlier, of course, last year we've seen the AlphaTauri Pierre Gasly take the win here at Monza, and it looks like Luca Chiapelli in the AlphaTauri is about to do the same. The Tifosi, I'm sure, will be delighted to see an Italian team win the race, and Luca Chiapelli is going to cross the line to win here at Monza. It's his 2nd win of the season. Jack Pearson will come home in 2nd. Dom, is he going to hold on for the podium for 3rd? Yes, he is. Mike Noon will be 4th. Bazza 5th, although Say Sports will then be promoted to 5th as a result of his penalty. Bossman Sean got another penalty across the line. He could lose a few positions here, with Alex Afro in 7th, Smokey J's in 8th, Bossman Sean down in 9th. In fact, Blake Grills will leap into 9th now, with Bossman Sean in 10th place.
As Chris comes home in P13, the only drivers left on the circuit now, Chris Johnson, heading around the final corner, should pick up the final point under the Joe Sayer point system, unless Red Bull Kim is within enough of a gap. And let's see, can the Haas driver pick up the final point as he crosses the line? It's been an eventful race for Red Bull Kim, led it at 1 point, but no, it is P15. Indecisive Mackie, the other Alfa Romeo driver, round the final corner for his team's home race to finish in P16. And Sam Hickey, well, it's just went from bad to worse for the Haas driver. It's been a pretty rough race for the Haas team, and he takes the final place in P17 of the drivers who have finished.
It was actually Chris Johnson as well who got the fastest lap in 14th place driver of the day. Alex Afro, as you can see there on your screen. That was a very, very enjoyable race. We've seen some really brave overtakes, I have to say. Very entertaining.
Very entertaining, if not a bit chaotic at some points. I think the stewards will be very busy after this week, but yeah, I think overall still very enjoyable at the front. It was a nice battle, very tense at the front, and at the end of the day it was Luca Chiapelli for AlphaTauri who took the win.
Did indeed, yeah, it was Luca Chiapelli, the winner of this race. Jack Pearson in 2nd place, Dom finished in third to get that podium for Mercedes. That's a really good result for them in the constructors. Mike Nguyen in fourth, Sarah Sports fifth, Bazza sixth, Alex Afro seventh, Smokey J's in eighth, Blair Grill's ninth, Bossman Sean after his wild race comes home in 10th, Nell Jack 11th, Sir Tom Penguin 12th. Chris, despite those crazy moments towards the end of the race, finishes 13th. Chris Johnson is 14th. Red Bull Kim, after his incident with the safety car, comes home in 15th, and Indecisive Mackie is 16th. Sam Hickey 17th, and then 3 DNFs. Ranger versus Death, Dark Shadow, and Shep, which of course caused that early safety car.
And now the next race will be at Monaco, which is well, I mean, you couldn't get more different with the tracks on the F1 calendar, so it should be another eventful race. So stay tuned for that coming right up.
Yep, 2 entirely different circuits, but 2 well, I suppose entirely different, but 2 fantastic circuits, 2 unique circuits, of course. There's not really anything like them.
I'll agree with unique.
Yeah.
I think one of us is more of a fan of Monaco than the other, but leave it at that.
That is very true, yes. I honestly don't know why anyone could not love Monaco Grand Prix, but well...
But hey, TGP, the action is always brilliant regardless of the circuit.
Correct. Just going to try and work out the current championship standings after that race. It'll take me a bit of a while. You got any stories to share?
I don't believe so. Jean-Luc Taylor, Johnners, the TGP legend himself, has congratulated Dom Smith for his podium. Jack Hickman is a big fan of Monaco, as we see in the comments, and yeah, I believe that's I believe that is all. Put a couple of people wishing Sam Hickey all the best, and if anyone has any comments, do let us know, within reason, of course.
Yeah, he's got a big fan club. Sam has. Yeah. Of course, this Monaco race will be taking place under the lights, and this will actually be the final night race, I believe, of the season in TGP. On this game, in fact, I think actually. Because Singapore will be doing it in the daytime, and we've done Bahrain and we've done Abu Dhabi, so I don't think there's anything else under the lights.
I don't think so, no. It's always strange to me, having Abu Dhabi, not round out the season in its rightful place. But yeah, it was the season opener, of course, this year, and yeah, provided great action.
Did indeed. Here we go then, we are about to get going here at Monaco. Do we have everybody with us? I think we do. Rossman Sean will want to, of course, make a nice comeback after the incidents that he had in Monza. And as you say, there's going to be so many stewards' inquiries, I suspect, after this race, just purely based on the on the Monza event, Roy.
Yeah, looking forward to it, of course. And as mentioned yesterday, the Monaco Grand Prix could not take place in 2020. You know why. But 2021 things still unconfirmed as of yet. But of course, we shall see what happens.
Listen, it will happen.
Eventually, maybe.
Yes, hopefully.
Might not, but maybe. No, of course, I do wish Monaco to return. It does actually feel a bit strange seeing Monaco not being a part of the Formula 1 fixture.
Agreed. I wonder, I have to say, there is part of me that would quite like to see rain here because, nighttime, Monaco, rain, I think that could throw up a completely unpredictable result.
As if Monaco's not unpredictable enough. The qualifying grid is going to be crucial. Qualifying is often... They say qualifying is half the battle in these races, but oh, look at this.
Oh, it is... Oh, wow. It is wet. But is it night time?
Is it? Yeah, I was going to say, it looks a bit bright.
Oh, I wonder if... I'm not sure who the host is, but I wonder if the host may have not changed it, unless it makes it the rain makes it look lighter, which would be very bizarre. But
no, I think that there may have been an error there. There was a bit of an error with the schedule, and maybe someone wrote AM instead of PM. But yeah, I believe it's daytime. Yeah, that looks like daytime to me. So
yeah, it is daytime. Yeah. No, it's not, because it's nighttime, and it does look dark.
The lights are on, aren't they?
Yeah, the lights are on. I'm just trying to see an onboard. No, this must be just very, very cloudy.
Yeah.
It must be very, very cloudy daytime conditions, I think.
Well, that's... oh well, I'm sure we'll still get a great qualifying session because, of course, it's Monaco and it's wet.
Yeah. Usually if we do get this kind of situation, sometimes it leads to maybe the lobby being restarted, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. And we are going to have this wet qualifying, which is going to be brilliant. Regardless, anyway. It's certainly dark in the tunnel.
Yeah, the tunnel hasn't changed.
As well.
Yeah. The tunnel is as we expected, but yeah, everything else is yeah, it's a bit brighter than we had anticipated, but hey. Although Johners has informed us that the lights don't go on during the day. So
maybe it is then.
I mean, I guess we'll find out if the race is dry.
Yeah.
But yeah, strange set of circumstances. Interestingly, a lot of drivers still in the pits. Maybe about half the drivers have actually gone out so far. But
so is that possibly a hint then that the rain may well go off towards the end of this session, I wonder?
I believe it might, because given the amount of drivers in the pits, although a lot more are beginning to come out now, they're beginning to filter out onto the track.
And we do have a dry race.
Yeah, the race is
going to be a dry race.
So we'll find out for sure whether it's if it really is at night or not. But
oh, just watching Bossman Sean here. He's trying to set a lap, but he's got the Williams to try and overtake on the Inters. And this is really going to be chaotic stuff. We've got on the Inters, we've got Luca on the Inters, although he's still in the pit. Chris Thaygood's on the Inters, Indecisive's on the Inters as well.
So maybe that's what they were waiting for then, they were waiting for that crossover point. But yeah, plenty of drivers struggling out there.
Yeah, who are you watching at the moment, Roy?
I'm actually going to watch Smokey J's because he's going to be the first car. He's heading around the Raskas now. The Racing Point driver from Denmark will be the first driver to set a timed lap. He's currently on the wet compound tyre as he exits the Anthony Nose corner. No DRS, of course, because it is wet. And he sets a 1 minute 29.2.
Oh, there you go. There's the early benchmark then. As Bossman Sean, he's gone right. He's stuck behind the Williams for a lot of this lap. So it's going to be a lot slower. There you go, 32.3. And I think, did he touch the wall as well? I see some debris flying across the track there. He might have towards the end of his lap. There's Luca then on the Inters on his out lap. It doesn't look too bad at the minute.
Yeah, it can often be hard to tell. Oh, what have you seen?
There's Alpha's crashed at the final corner, and he spun again as he tried to get going again. Oh dear. Jack Pearson gets a 128.8, got Swiggy J's on a 129.2, and really, I suppose the drivers don't necessarily have to constantly come in and pit and do a certain amount of runs. They can just stay out for as long as possible, as long as they want to, really. But Indecisive crashed at the final corner, and he's going to have to do an entire lap now without a front wing.
Yeah, not ideal for the Alfa Romeo driver. I believe Sam Hickman's on a lap, and it's not valid. So he must have been validated at turn 1, given that he's only at Mirabo. Who is on a lap out there? Chris Johnson is on a lap.
Do we have Smokey J's on a lap? No, he's pitting. Smokey J's pits.
Of course, it is hard to tell because of the conditions. A lot of people can, as you said, do multiple laps at a time. But actually, I believe Luca is now on a lap on his intermediate tyres.
He is, yeah. Jack Pearson's also on a lap. We'll just have a look at this second sector, see if it's any quicker. Bossman Sean goes to 127.8, and Jack is 2 tenths down on this lap. I think it is of the personal best. I've seen the comment from John saying that it is of the personal best lap time. So I don't know, should we go with John's advice, do you think?
I would say so. I will try if I can to confirm that at the end of the session without going through too many menus, but yeah, I'll definitely try to figure out what is the case with that. But Luca now heading through the tunnel on his intermediate tyres. Of course the tunnel is dry, but it looks very heavy still, but there is a bit of a line formed, a bit of a groove. There's an Alfa Romeo in the runoff at the chicane, but Luca manages to negotiate his way around it. Well, what can he do?
I'll tell you what, that's actually not a bad second sector there for Luca. I think that's pretty much even with what Bossman Sean was at that stage. So maybe the inters do work quite well.
Yeah, I think we're right at the crossover point. I think Dom, I don't think he's left the pits, so I think he's just waiting. I think he knows. I think the track is just going to keep getting quicker and quicker. But what can Luca do as he crosses the line? It's pole, provisional pole, 1:27.5.
Well, surely, if you see that, if you're in the pit lane and you're seeing Luca go pole by 3 tenths, it is only 3 tenths, but still 3 tenths on the inters. Surely you would then stick the inters on.
Yeah, Luca, I think it's going to get quicker and quicker.
Yeah, it is just going to get quicker and quicker, isn't it?
As Luca has a moment heading out of Casino. I don't know if he was going for another lap there, or if he just wants to get back into the pits, but yeah, nervy moments for the AlphaTauri driver.
So championship standings then for this race, I've managed to work them out. Just go tell you them very quickly. I'll list the drivers towards the top. We've got, after that race, Jack is on 91 points, I believe. This is obviously without the possible penalties that could be incoming. Luca is on 88, Mike Noon is on 81. So that's what it is for the top three. Then you got Dom on 56 and Chris Johnson on 51, and so on. So still 10 points separate the top three after that race. Just
very closely fought championship. I think consistency will be key, and it's all about who can actually find that groove when it comes to scoring points in the championship.
Yeah, it will be absolutely vital, won't it? Seeing if we've got on a lap here, we've got Mike Nguyen on the inters, and he's just invalidated at the swimming pool section, and he's going to have to go again. It looked like a fairly decent lap as well. And Chiapelli goes even quicker. Chiapelli goes even quicker than on a 127.3 now on those inters. Surely inters are the tire to be on. I think McNoon would have set a very quick lap there as well, but he's also pitted
and
after the invalidation, and he was also on the inters.
He started a lap right behind Sir Tom Penguin. I don't know why he didn't give himself more space, and he's kind of just wrecked his own lap there. And now, if Luke is on another lap, he's going to have to get out of the way, but I think his lap's already gone now. We've got a bit of traffic now forming at the hairpin.
And so, Jack Pearson came out for an out lap, and then on the wet tyres and comes straight back in again. So is that an indication that he is going to switch on to the inters as well?
I believe so, yeah. I think the wets, they're just no longer the quicker tyre. I think it's going to be inters now for the rest of the session. And well, that just shows another spanner into the works. Everyone, you're only going to get a limited amount of time to actually get your lap in at Monaco in wet conditions. Simple stuff, of course, but
and we've got,
or maybe not.
Got Chris Johnson coming around the final corner as well, and Nancy Noakes now. He looks like he's going to set a quick lap also on the inters. He goes third, the 128.3. And no, he just makes turn one then. Bossman Shaw now also out on the inters. He set his initial lap on. No, he also set them on the inters as well, I believe. Now he set them on the wets.
And Luca is on another lap. I'll go on board with the race winner from the last lead. A bit squirrely on the exit through turn 2. Yes, he can into turn 3 now. At the top of the hill, keep it tight. So you want to open up turn 4 at the casino, which he's done quite nicely. The car is sliding all over the place as he almost loses it and hits the wall. He's 9 tenths up on his previous lap. He's of course on pole, so it's definitely his own lap. Can he hit the apex at the hairpin? Gets through it quite nicely. Now into Portier. What can he do? Red Bull Kim's on the inside to get out of everyone's way, and now foot to the floor through the tunnel, flat out. Although you have to be a bit careful now because the car will be a bit unstable as he heads down the hill now to the Nouvelle chicane. Can he keep it within the track limits? Yes, he can. Very nicely done from the AlphaTauri driver. He's got a bit of traffic up ahead. He's going to have to hopefully get out the way. Dom Smith keeps out the way very nicely as Luca goes through to back. Now, swimming pool, car can get very unsettled through here, but he's kept control just about, and he's up on his time still. He's kept it valid so far. Now, through the Rascast, don't want to go too deep, and he's done that quite nicely. Missed the apex slightly, probably could have been a little bit smoother, but hey. And through the final corner he goes. You want to take the shortest route to the line, and where can Chiapelli go? He goes P1 by 1,000th of a second ahead of Smokey J, who's on the wets.
Yeah, that was on the wet tyres as well, Smokey J, so if it's the inters on, he could certainly improve as well. It looked like Chris Johnson was also on a good lap there as well, but ended up backing off. Luca then, by 1,000th of a second, a millisecond, is on pole.
Of course, still 6.5 minutes left in this session. All is still to play for, and I think Luke is actually on another lap, and he's a 10th up on
Bossman
his previous
Sean.
time.
Sorry, Roy, Bossman Sean was also looking like he was going to improve as well. He was in the 1 minute freeze after the second sector, but then he invalidated, so he's going to have to go again as well. Anybody could get pole here, really.
And Dom is actually yet to set a lap. What can the man from the Isle of Man do? His compatriot is currently on pole position. What can the Mercedes driver do? I think he might be a little bit disappointed with the result from Monza. I thought, he may have been looking to sneak a win in there, but it was not meant to be.
Oh, Mike Noonan has just hit the wall at the back, and he was on a lap as well. He still hasn't got a lap in, and he ends up still getting a 1 minute 4 at the second sector, and that was with hitting the wall at the back. So he would have surely improved. And Blake Girls a crash right in front of him as well. So that's a disastrous start to his next lap. And he has damage as well. So this is absolutely awful for Mike Noonan. He still finishes. He's going to go 7th, despite all those errors. Chiapelli improves even further on a 125.8.
And what can Dom do as he crosses the line? It's not going to be challenging pole position. It's P9 with a 129.5. He's
Jack Pierce coming around the final corner. He's got a car right ahead of him. It's Red Bull Kim, and it goes into 3rd place. I'm not sure how long he had that traffic, Jack Pearson. It will not have helped. And then he nearly loses it on the start of his next lap as well.
Not ideal for the Mercedes driver, as yes, Chiapelli extended that gap, but Bossman Sean has now slotted himself into 2nd place, so it could be another front row for the Alfa Romeo driver.
Yep, and we now have Smokey Jays, who is in the pit lane, and he is going to switch, it looks like, to the inter tyres, which is absolutely the correct decision at this moment.
There's a yellow flag in sector 2. I believe that's all fine now. Might be a bit of debris, but I don't know who that was from, as Mr. Chiapelli has missed the chicane. M-Shep has not set a lap yet, nor has Sam Hickman, the Haas driver, popular character in the TGP2 paddock.
Mike Noonan pits, unsurprisingly, with that damage. He's got 4 minutes, so he will easily get out again. And Dom has invalidated his lap as well, his current lap.
I think Sir Tom Penguin has jumped up into the top 10. He's still on wets, but I think he'll be happy with the top 10 as the Williams tries to get out of Sam's way, but I don't think he's managed to do so. The Williams of Angel versus Death, and they've made contact on the exit of Portier. That's not ideal. That's not what the Williams driver needed to be doing.
What is going on? Yeah, it's they glued together there in the tunnel. Got so many drivers in the pit lane now getting ready for the final runs, and that's Sam Hickey getting a 5th-place penalty, I think I've seen there as well. Chris is making some nice progress. He's just gone into 5th place. Chris, very good that is. Chris Johnson is in 6th.
Chris is occupying the 3rd row.
Indeed. Buy one Chris, get one free. And, Angel versus Death is out of the session. So is Dark Shadow. So is Indecisive then. 17 cars remaining for this 3 minutes to go in the session.
I think drivers will get 1, maybe 2 laps in if they leave the pits right about now, but I think it might be 1 lap for the majority of the field. So minimum fuel, maximum ERS deployment. It's all to play for in the final moments of the session.
Well, while those guys are on the outlaps, I think the guy to watch right now is Chris Thaygood. He's 4/10ths up on his lap at the minute, so he could be possibly going ahead of Jack here. But I tell you what, though, actually, it's very big gap between Jack and Chris Thurgood. It's over a second.
I think Chris will be satisfied with an improvement at the moment, because it could pay dividends later on in the session, and he goes P4 with a 126.8.
That just shows how much time there is to find then, as Jack Pearson comes out for his final run of the session. Bossman Sean and Chiapelli are already out there. Smokey J's is on a lap at the moment. It says he's gone purple sector 1. Chris Johnson goes 4th.
Two Chris's doing battle in qualifying. Who will finish ahead by the time the session ends? But yes, Smokey J is on the lap. He's going through the tunnel as we speak.
Alex Afro as well is about to improve. This could be a good lap for him. He's about to cross the line and he goes 7th. This is all about just trying to get a perfect, quiet, nice lap together while trying to completely avoid traffic as well around Monaco of all places, in the pouring rain, in probably night time.
Yeah, well, we still have to clarify that. We shall hopefully get more clarity when the race when race day arrives, which will of course be in clear weather according to the weather forecast.
Smokey J's is flying. Smokey J's is 6/10 up on his fastest lap. This could be pole for the time being for Smokey J's in the racing points. Here we go, across the line. It is pole by 15 hundredths of a second. 125.8.
As Luca Chiapelli starts his final lap of the session, he will not get more time to do another lap. And the Renault hits the wall.
Yeah, just seen that Sam Penguin gone off. But I think Neljak is possibly looking pretty decent now as well. In 1 minute 5 middle sector so far, so he might not make a big improvement.
And I think this is looking messy so far from Luca, but he's still only 300ths off his previous best time, so I think that shows the track is improving. Despite going quite deep into turn 3, Mr. Chiapelli is still on it and could still very well snatch pole away from the racing point of Smokey J's.
Let's say Sports then. Let's see if Say Sports can improve across the line. He does improve, but he remains in 8th place. He will be able to go again if he can, though. Mike New come around the final corner. Is Mike New going to jump up the timing sheets? He goes 4th.
A yellow flag in sector 2. I think someone's had an incident at the exit of the casino, but I think that's all been cleared now, as Mr. Chiapelli is perfectly 3/10 up.
That's quick. It's nearly in 1 minute. Nearly on there. A 1 minute 2 with the last. Whoa! He didn't lose it in the second part of the swimming pool. How did he save that? And if tell you what, it'd be even more incredible if he now ends up going to stick it on pole. Smokey J is about to cross the line. Smokey J does not improve. He's 3 seconds off. Chiapelli for pole position. Even with that slide, a 125.0. Bossman Shaw goes second on a 125.087. What can the other guys do?
Chris Johnson's heading towards the final sector. We have Mercedes in the final sector. Is Jack Pearson with an invalid lap, so never mind that. As Chris goes into P5. Chris,
goes P5. We've got Chris Johnson coming around the final corner now as well. We'll see what he can do. We've got is that Dom crossing the line? Dom 10th, so not a good section for Mercedes. Chris Johnson goes 4th. Mike Noon is the one to watch here, I think.
And he's 7/10 up on his previous time, which isn't enough for pole position. But then again, if the track is evolving as quickly as it seems to be, he could very well be a contender. What can Mike Noon do? Can he take the shortest route to the line? Gets a bit squirrely on the exit, but where does Mike Noon go? He goes pole by 5/10 of a second, over 5/10 of a second.
Well, he had a terrible first half of this qualifying session, didn't he? He hit the wall, he was getting too much traffic, but when it mattered, he got the lap together, and Mike Noon will start on pole, and he will be delighted, I imagine, to see Jack. Look at that, down in 8th for this one around Monaco. This could be a huge, huge boost for Mike Noon in this championship. Luca is alongside him in 2nd place, of course, which is also his nearest championship rival as well, of course. So those two really have a chance here to catch up on Jack Pearson.
Yep. It's Mike Noon on pole from Mr. Chiapelli, the race winner in Monza. Bossman Sean and Smokey J's complete the 2nd row, with Chris Johnson and Chris Thurgood on the 3rd row, followed by Sayre Sports. Championship leader Jack Pearson. Well, actually, is he the championship leader at the moment?
He is the championship leader, Jack Pearson, yeah.
Alex Afro representing Guatemala in P9, with Baza rounding out the top 10. Dom Smith in P11. And I do not have the time to go through the rest of the grid, but let's see.
Well, if you get a race as crazy as the qualifying was,
we're in for a good evening. But
yes.
And well, it's still this ambiguous time of day. It's kind of just dusk, really.
Yeah, I think
But
it might have been set to dusk instead of yesterday when it was on midnight, I think.
Yeah, instead of midnight. But hey, the track is lit, and so are we. So we are looking for a great start to this race in just under 20 seconds' time. Some drivers readying up.
Looking forward to this one then. Of course, Monza was such a long run to the first corner. This one is a very short one, Roy.
It is indeed. As we wait for the drivers to just ready up, I believe everybody is still connected, and we have 3 lights, 4, 5, and we're underway in Monte Carlo as Mike Noon leads the field from pole position, and I believe he's ahead of Luca into turn 1. And Luca makes contact with the Red Bull driver. I don't know if he's got any wing damage, but Mike Noon still leads. Bossman Sean in P3 with Chris Johnson.
It's a virtual safety car already.
And, wow.
Well, the cars have barely had time to sort themselves out, and we have an immediate virtual safety car. I've seen Smokey J's make contact with Bossman Sean for sure. Smokey J's definitely has damage. We've got all sorts of penalties being given now because of the sudden immediate VSC. And, well, Mike Noon got the lead. As you say, I'm not sure if Luca has damage. I don't think he has.
Yeah, I don't think, and if he does, then it's very minor, and it's probably not going to be too crucial around Monaco, given that it's a lot of slow-speed corners. But yeah, not the cleanest of starts for the AlphaTauri driver. I don't think he was hit from behind, but yeah, it's only a virtual safety car though, so I don't think we'll see any pit stops because the virtual safety car will probably end before that. But
yeah.
Mike Noon got the start that he needed, and he still leads this race. Unfortunately, we can't tell you when it ends, and it's now actually.
It's right now.
Mike Noon leads the race from Luca. I think Luca had a bit of a... he's got a drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car, which he serves immediately. I don't know if that's the best decision, but...
and we've got Bossman Sean in as well, who has got damage, so he's also got damage from that start line instance, and Smokey J's as well, who we saw get the damage. So then, Lucas Giappelli qualified on the front row, and he is after making an immediate pit stop, got other drivers in the pit lane as well. Crazy start to this race. Chris Johnson is in third, Chris Johnson's in second, Chris Thaygood is in third. Jack Pearson, after a poor qualifying, is up into fourth already.
Yeah, I think Luca... ambition ahead of adhesion. He was looking to get the jump on Mike Noon around Monaco because opportunities are so limited around this tight street circuit, but in the end he hit it too early and he sped, and he's now paid the price. He has to come into the pits and is now running in P12.
So it's a 2.3 second lead then for Mike Noon at the moment, and then it's a top 3 are fairly spread out at this stage. Jack Pearson then a second behind Chris Thaygood, but then we have Sayers. But oh my god, look at the 7th place, Alex Alfredo and Bazza. Bazza's going to get him at the Nürburgring. That is a lovely move by Bazza. That is so bold, so opportunistic. Went for it, made the position, and didn't get any sort of penalty or anything for it. That was a fantastic overtake.
Reminiscent of Sergio Perez in 2013, the Red Bull driver now moves up into P7. Mike Noon sets the fastest lap of the race at the end of lap 2. And he's got a 2.7 second lead ahead of the Ferrari of Chris Johnson, with Chris Thurgood in the Williams following behind, completing the podium. Championship leader Jack Pearson currently running in P4 as things begin to stabilise around here at Monaco. It's been a fairly chaotic opening 2 laps.
Well, we've got Mike Noon doing his best impression of Softy, I think, in this race so far.
Indeed, as Dom is now all over the back of Sayre Sports. Can he find a place to pass? Can he maybe throw it up the inside of the hairpin? No, he's just too far back. If you're going to go for a move at the hairpin, you need to be right there. But we saw Kimi Räikkönen make a mess of overtaking Kevin Magnussen there back in 2014. Jules Bianchi and Marussia were very grateful that day. But yeah, as Dom settles for 6th position as things stand. And actually Bazza is right all over the back of him now. He's only 4/10 back.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to go for a move though. No, he's too far back.
So Joe Sayer, you can see in 5th place, he does have damage, and that is what is causing a little bit of a train, I think. Chris Thaygood's got damage in 3rd place, but he's managing to stay fairly reasonably in the game. I'm not sure if Jack Pearson has damage. I don't think he has. So Chris doing very well there to hold on to that 3rd place for the time being. But behind Joe Sayer, we have this big queue beginning to form now. This reminds me of yesterday when myself and Jack Hickey were stuck behind a McLaren for several laps. And he's hit the wall again, say Sports.
Yeah, it's not just... Oh, it's major wing damage now. It was major on one side. It's now... Well, yeah, it's now both sides of the wings that are damaged for Joe. He's going to have to pit as soon as he possibly
And it's another virtual safety car.
But it's too early for Joe if he wanted to make that pit stop.
Well...
Wow.
So that means now then that we will not have a full safety car in this race. It's usually with the Co-Masters games of the 25% races. There's only either 2 safety car or virtual safety car, and we've had them both. Say Sports would quite like this to start a bit longer, I imagine, so he can get into the pit lane, but I don't think it will.
No, I think he's had a look on that one as he picked up
a
drive-through penalty,
well.
which means that he can't actually serve the... he can't actually repair his damage before he serves this drive-through, so he's stuck with this wing damage for at least another 2 laps. So disaster for Ferrari. Wow. So Dom will be very grateful to hear that news. He will move up into P5 as Joe does indeed pit. And let's see, is this for a pit stop? It actually is for a pit stop, so he will at least get to repair his damage beforehand. But now Dom runs in P5, just 1 place behind his teammate, but he's 8 seconds back.
Yeah, that's being caught up behind Sports has really cost them then. 8 seconds, as you say, from the with Dom and Bazza and Alex and Neljak and Chiapelli all following behind. So Luca then, despite that instance at the start, is in 9th place now.
Yeah, not too bad for the AlphaTauri driver, as Red Bull Kim has retired from the session. Another victim of the streets of Monaco. And yeah, it's all looking very tight in this midfield. Alex Zaffro now only 4/10 behind F1 Bazza. I don't think he's going to be close enough into the Nouvelle chicane. If you're going to be close enough to make a move, you need to be right with the car ahead.
This is really interesting now, of course, because we know that we're not going to get another safety car or virtual safety car in this race. We're only on lap 6, as Mike Newton's on 6th lap now, and of course because of the wet quali, the tyre choices are a bit different as well. We've got Chris Johnson on mediums, Chris Thurgood also on mediums, 2 Mercedes are on softs, and then we've got a few runners on mediums as well. So it's all a little bit all over the place, which is what we like to see. As Luca gets up past Neljak now for 8th place. He's trying to make his way back through the field. Of course, Luca's already made a pit stop in this race, hasn't he?
No, that was just that was his drive-through for speeding under the
safety car.
So
you're right. Yeah,
he has yet to actually make that stop. But yeah, what I'm interested in though is Chris Johnson, who's now within DRS range of Mike Noon at the front. He's on the medium tyres, whereas Mike Noon is on the softs. So this could pay dividends for Chris Johnson come the end of the race. He might be able to challenge even more towards the end of the race, as we see a Ferrari, or actually it might be an Alfa Romeo, having a bit of an incident at the exit of the Nouvelle chicane.
I think it was Bossman Sean, I think. Actually, it might have been an indecisive Mackie, actually, in fact. But Mike Nguyen then, 1.7 second lead as it starts lap 7. But I'm really interested to see how this is going to play out, because obviously Mike Nguyen will pit first, you would imagine. But then will Mike Nguyen get himself caught in traffic, which will possibly allow Chris Johnson to close the gap, if not take the lead.
I believe Smokey Jays has clipped the Nouvelle chicane wall and spun himself around down in P11, so not what the day needed. He's got pace, but it's just been a bit of a messy week for the Racing Point driver, as Mr. Chiapelli is now all over the back of Alex Zaffro. Can he make a move down into Mirabeau? No, he thought about it, but thought better of it. Can he make a move into the hairpin? No, he's too far back on this occasion. So the Manx man looking to get P7 from Alex Zaffro. He's currently on the soft tyre, so he needs to make use of this, otherwise he might want to think about pitting so we can get the undercut.
Well, it's I'd say Sports who was sort of holding up this field of drivers, but now Dom is, you have to say, the gap has actually increased now to 8.9 from Dom to Jack.
Yeah, I think Dom is just happy to settle for 5th at the moment, as Bazza is all over the back of him, but Dom is on the soft compound tyre. Are his tyres beginning to wear? They might be, but still the Mercedes driver stays out as Luca does indeed come into the pits. He's had enough of the traffic and is looking to get the undercut, and if this works, well, I think he'll have his eyes. He could still get a top 5 position here if this can, if this works out for him. Oh, but they're changing the wing.
Oh!
I don't know if that was necessary, but he's changed the wing.
And speaking of wings, I've just seen Alex Zafro just hit the wall and lose a bit of his wing. He was running well in 7th place. He does have a penalty though, mind you, but still, that is a knock of him. And we've got Shepard out of the race as he was out of the race in Monza.
Yeah, on the through to back, very easy to do. You can clip the inside wall and it throws you to the outside, so another victim of Tabac. Of course, we will not see a virtual safety car or safety car deployed at this stage in the race because we've already had two, so unfortunately the race will not change in that regard as the wreckage is cleared. But Baza is now all over the back of Dom. I think Dom will need to think about pitting because his tyres are clearly going off, but the more he stays out, the more Luke is going to enjoy this as Chris Johnson takes the lead as Mike Noon pits.
Yeah, I've got Mike Noon in the pit lane.
He's changing the wing.
He is. So Mike Noon has also at some point hit the wall as well. Chris Johnson, this could be huge for Chris Johnson. Dom also decides to pit at this moment, unsurprisingly so.
The question is, where does Mike Noon rejoin on track? I think he will, yeah, he'll be comfortably in P7, so he's comfortably ahead of everyone else who has made their pit stop, but it's not what the Red Bull driver needed because I think Chris Johnson could very well get the undercut here. I think maybe Chris Johnson could pit now.
Crucially, Mike Noon does not have any, certainly no immediate traffic, so it's not absolutely awful for him. It's not like he's got to spend laps behind trying to get past the driver. He will have fresh air, but as you say, yeah, Chris Johnson, he can win this race.
Yep, Chris Johnson I think could be the favourite to win this race. He might just want to pit now, even though the softs will be wearing towards the end of the race. He'll still have that track position, which is ever so crucial around this circuit. So as we see Neljak now, he's closing up to the back of Alex Zafra with that damaged wing, but he's still too far back to make a move. Jack Pearson, the leading driver on the soft compound tyres, will he pit this lap? Yes, he will, as does Chris Thurgood. Chris Johnson stays out.
That's on the medium tyres as well that Chris Thurgood has came into the pit lane. Let's see if Chris Thurgood, is he going to change his wing as well? He's done really well. In fact, I think he might have a penalty. He's having to wait for. Yeah, he did, didn't he? Yeah. So that's really not good for him then. I don't think he is changing the wing, not that I've certainly seen on the screen anyway. Jack Pearson comes out just behind Mike Noon, of course, as you would expect, despite the fact Mike Noon had to change his front wing.
But Mike Noon, it has to be said, he was very lucky. He avoided the traffic there because Alex Zafra was right ahead of him, but he managed to avoid the traffic because Alex Zafro dived into the pits, and I believe Neljak did as well. So Mike Noon, quite fortunate there. He's I believe he's 23.5 seconds behind Chris Johnson. I don't know if is that enough time? Is he too far back? We shall find out.
I'm not sure, but I think it's going to be close. Smokey J is
on the exit of the casino.
That's where J. Luke crashed yesterday, and Smokey J is going to join him possibly in the casino after that incident. Then Chris Johnson goes again to start lap 11 of this race, and the real tension right now is, did Mike Noon just hit the wall? It looked like he did from the camera that I've seen it from.
His wing
I'm
looks
not
intact.
Sure. Yeah, I think it is, isn't it? It is intact.
So if there is any damage, it's minor.
There might have been an incident there with say Tom Penguin and Schiappelli, because Schiappelli just got himself a 5-second penalty, and since Tom Penguin has got damage, in fact, we're just holding him up.
Out.
Yeah, he's just crashed at the swimming pool section as well, but Schiappelli's been held up here big time.
And I think Tom Penguin was actually letting Schiappelli through, but in doing so, he's actually held him up and he's actually made contact with the Renault driver, and now Mr. Schiappelli's missing half his wing. So he's got a big gap to the cars behind apart from Neljak, so it's really only Neljak that he needs to keep behind at this point, but still an absolute disaster for the AlphaTauri driver who started this race on the front row.
Look at Dom and Chris there got 5th place. Dom's going to get round and overtakes him. Lovely move.
Dom passes the Williams, but the Williams has severe wing damage. Look at this, he's barely got anything left. So Schiappelli, he might lose a place to Neljak, but he might actually gain one on Chris because he's got more of his wing left, and this is going to be a nightmarish end of the race for Chris. as he heads through the tunnel.
Well, 19 seconds is the gap now. I don't think that's enough for Chris Johnson.
I don't think so either. I think, and I think Chris, he stayed out again. This is, I have to say I'm disappointed with the Ferrari strategists here at Monaco for the second season in a row.
It is Ferrari.
But I think Chris, unless Baza can actually hold up Mike Noon here, as Mr. Chiapelli gives up and he decides to box for a new front wing and probably a set of soft tyres. He can probably salvage fastest lap points.
And so does Chris as well. So does Chris Thurgood as well. Sam Hickey takes the fastest lap then. But I can't imagine Baza will hold up Mike Noon, will he? Surely not.
I don't think so.
Really, I suppose, because you've got to really let him through now, I suppose, because even just getting held up for the end of this lap would be costly.
Yeah, he's got to let him either through now or like the pit straight at the latest, and yes, I believe, he's letting him through. So good teamwork there at Red Bull. Can Mike Noon keep the lead as Chris Johnson stays out again? And no words really. Baza picks up a penalty.
Chris Johnson's also getting himself caught up with this ghost Renault as well with Sir Tom Penguin, and the ghost drivers can sometimes be a bit off-putting. Just having another car on the screen as well, that's losing a bit of time possibly as well, as Baza comes in from the medium tyres to put on the softs. Jack in third,
and that'll elevate Dom. Will it elevate Dom up to P4? I think it's going to be close. Baza is exiting the pits now. Dom's heading down the pit straight, and yes, okay, actually it was not as close as I had once thought, and Dom is into fourth position. He's 13 seconds back, so I think he just needs to keep his nose clean, and he will take home a P4.
As Chris Johnson gets a penalty.
Oh
dear.
I cut to him at the perfect moment.
Yeah. Well, it's really ruined it now then for Chris Johnson. I mean, really, you have to pit now, Chris. Come on, you pit right now. That's really, you could still get a podium.
He should have pitted on lap 9. He pits now. No penalties, but 16-second gap. Let's watch Mike Noon. Where will he rejoin? As actually Sam Hickman is now all over the back. Actually, we'll watch this instead, because the Haas driver is now all over the back of the racing point. Can the Haas driver move his way up into P6? He's gone down the inside, and very nicely done from the Haas driver. He moves his way up into P6 ahead of Neljak, and very impressive move there, as Mike Noon does indeed retake the lead. And yes, it wasn't even close in the end. There's a 2.8 second gap. Chris Johnson really should have pitted as soon as possible, but well, perhaps we have more information than he does. But I think Chris has potentially cost himself the win there, although if he does have this penalty, then maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, really, unless Chris can absolutely fly now on those soft tyres, pass Mike, and then build up 3 seconds, maybe on another track, maybe on a Canada, maybe on a Monza, it would be possible, but I don't think it's possible to do that around Monaco with 6 laps to go.
No, it's going to require a mistake from Mike Noon, as well as a perfect ending to the race for Chris Johnson. But I think the gap has stayed the same throughout this lap, despite the fresh tyres, despite the compound difference. With a yellow flag in Sector 3, I believe it's a McLaren just getting out of the way. But the
podium still is looking good though, of course, for Chris Johnson, because Dom is 15 seconds back now. Dom and Baza are really going to, this is probably going to be a fight that'll go to the end of the race, although Baza does have a penalty. How much is that penalty? It's only 3 seconds. Sam Hickey, who's made some great moves in this race, does actually have a 12-second penalty. So he will probably lose quite a few positions at the end of this Grand Prix.
Might only be 2, because there's a big gap between Sayre Sports and Alex Zafra of 10 seconds. But it'd be interesting to see. The Haas driver is flying at the moment on these medium tyres. He managed to easily make his way through past Neljak. So let's see where the Haas driver ends up at the end of the race, as I believe the closest battle on track now is indeed Dom versus Baza for P4.
It is indeed, Chris Johnson, as you mentioned, the gap wasn't really changing much, and I've really only seen it come down just a handful of tenths of a second, really.
And I believe that's an Alfa Romeo driver getting out of the way. It's Indecisive Mackie, making his way for the front runners. But can Baza now make a move on Dom Smith here? The Mercedes driver has got a 3/10 gap heading into the chicane, and I believe he's far enough ahead to keep the position. Yes, he is.
It's like Hamilton and Verstappen, isn't it, in 2019?
Yeah, a lot of tension, but you know, not a lot of overtaking. But that's the thing with Monaco; you just need to keep your nose clean.
Oh, big chunk of curb there by Baza there that he took. I wonder if he will fancy going for it. We've seen him make a move at the start of the race, didn't we? Going into the New chicane. How tempted will he be to try it again?
It's all about opportunity here at Monaco. You need to do it as soon as you arrive so you can surprise your rival, because otherwise they can plan their defence. But Baza is now right on the back of Dom Smith heading up into turn number 3, but still too far back to make a move.
Well, it has to be said that Dom does have a huge amount of ERS as well in comparison. Dom's on 57%, Baza's on 18%. So that could help him a lot over this double, although saying that, Baza's practically pushing him round the hairpin.
Tense stuff here for Dom in order to keep this 4th position. Baza, of course, does have a penalty. Sam Hickey's actually catching right up to the back of this pack
he's
now.
flying.
He's in 2 seconds. So still a lot to play for here as we see a yellow flag. Again, it's Alfa Romeo moving out of the way. But Baza now right on the back, but heading into the back. I don't think there's going to be any room to pass there. But as Baza misses the apex there and loses a bit of time to the Mercedes driver.
Tell you what, well, it's 11 seconds from Neljak to Sam Hickey now, so Sam, he might end up keeping that 6th place.
And of course, Neljak has penalties, so you know that takes some of the deficit away. Course, so I think Sam will actually keep this 6th place, which is actually he's half a second behind. He's right there.
It's flying. It's like the GameStop stock.
Of course.
Unbelievable.
Look at this, the Haas driver now all over the back of the Red Bull. Hashtag better than Red Bull was of course used by a Haas sponsor in 2019, who we shall not name. But well, can the Haas driver now work his way through into the top 5? He's going to have to be daring. Of course, it is Monaco as the Alfa Romeo driver on the inside that just popped up on my screen. Moves out of the way with wing damage. I believe that is indecisive Mackie, as Chris picks up a penalty running down in P11, what could have been for the Williams driver. But Sam Hickey now not using his overtake, deciding to bide his time there. And Baza still has... Oh, as Baza picks up a 3-second penalty, he did indeed cut the chicane. So this might not be all too bad for Sam Hickey if he can find a way through.
Yeah, 6 seconds now then, that penalty for Baza. So even if he does get past, you have to say, if he does get past Dom would probably look fairly comfortable.
As Sam spins, half spins, and I believe, he's cost himself a lot of time there. I think he might have actually cost himself 6th position. But Neljak and Alex Zafro are actually all over each other here. Alex Zafro all over the back of Alex Coates. And I believe, they both have wing damage actually on their front left. So it'll be interesting to see. They both have wing damage, so they both have equal cars in that sense. But who can manage it better?
Well, I thought he was going to get a run there, but look at Giapelli getting 9th place into the first corner as well, into 9th place there for Giapelli. Saves both down in 10th. Meanwhile, at the front, look at this. It's half a second now. He's right on him.
Chris Johnson going to have to find a way through
goes deep.
Here.
Magnu went deep there.
There's a Renault Ghost in the way. It'd be nice if that could clear itself away. I believe it is Sir Tom Penguin.
It's bringing Jack Pearson into it. It's bringing Jack Pearson right into it. 2 laps to go, and Jack Pearson doesn't have a penalty.
So I don't think Mike Noon does either, though. So it's going to take a bit of contact realistically. But can Chris Johnson find a way through? If he does, it has to be this lap to stand any chance of building a 3-second gap.
Giapelli just flying through the field now. I've lost count how many times he's pissed in this race. I have to come in for a drive through, but he's now up into 7th. Makes a great move on Neljak.
And look at this at the front, less than 2 seconds separating the top 3. A fairly non-ideal camera angle. Here we go. Here's the TV camera in the tunnel, but I think they're all too far apart.
Oh, so late on the brakes, Jack Pearson there. I have to say, I'm amazed he hasn't got a penalty yet around Monaco.
Alex Zaffro goes down the inside of Neljak at the first corner, but Neljak is fighting his way up into turn 3 as Sayre Sports also joins the battle. It's a 3-car battle into turn 3. Can Sayre Sports, who I believe doesn't have any wing damage, Sayre Sports has the best car in this scenario.
Chris Johnson's in the wall! Chris Johnson's in the wall! Big run, this could be a big chance for Jack Pearson with DRS.
Where's his car? The camera's not showing me.
Might just save Chris Johnson. Yes, he does. Just, but that's gives Mike Noonan a bit of breathing space. Jack Pearson's going to have a run here.
Can Jack Pearson make his way up into second place? He's just 1/10 back, and no, he cannot. But Chris Johnson harvesting energy. But Jack Pearson's got slightly more ERS management or ERS deployment to avail of. But
I'm not sure if Chris Johnson got damage from that. Yeah, I think he did he? He might have. Actually, I don't think he did. He did. He clobbered the ball at Anthony Noakes. Jack Pearson, will he fancy a go at the final opportunity here?
He's not using his overtake. I think Jack will be aware that Chris has a time penalty and he's not going to catch Mike in this final half of the final lap. So I think Jack is just going to sit behind, stay within 3 seconds, and he will happily take a second place, which would be very handy for his championship hopes, although Mike Noonan will of course be taking points off, so getting even tighter at the top of the championship. As Mike Noonan heads around the final corner, it's been a very impressive race from the Red Bull driver, leading from start to finish. Mike Noonan wins in Monaco in TGP2, followed by Chris Johnson, or actually Jack Pearson, with Chris Johnson's penalty applied, completing the podium. Dom Smith heading through to back now, through the swimming pool. Dom Smith, the Mercedes driver.
Sorry, Roy, I'd say it's crazy. The gap between third and fourth, unbelievable.
Yeah, I was trying to fill time. Yeah, so Dom comes home in P4. Excellent constructors' points for the Mercedes team. You have to say they must be the favourites for the constructors' title, as Baza is 5th on the road and I believe 5th in the final standings. Sam Hickey, where will he end up as
I think he's going to keep the 6th. Sam Hickey is going to keep the 6th place. And he spun at 1 point as well, didn't he?
He did, yeah. I think the others had wing damage, which allowed Luke to get all the way up to P7. As Alex Zaffro, here he comes with that wing damage in P8. Neljak for Racing Point will come home in P9, followed by Sayre Sports. Sir Tom Penguin was a lap down, as was Blair Grills. Indecisive Mackie is the final car to come across the line. A bit of a lock up into La Rascasse, but clean. Oh, not so clean exit onto the onto the pit straight, weaving for the fans. Fans, of course, being virtual when we might not see crowds for a while.
Don't say it. Don't say that.
I apologise. But yeah, so Indecisive Mackie coming home in P13 for Alfa Romeo. Sam Hickey, driver of the day, very impressive.
Well deserved. Yeah, that's well deserved, that driver of the day, I would say, Roy.
Yeah, I think so. He made some very impressive moves. He showed great pace. Bit erratic at times, but still he provided great entertainment and he's made up a lot of positions. So yeah, well done for top 6 position. So now, let's see. Mike Noonan, top of the podium with Jack and Chris Johnson. Chris Johnson, I have to say, I think he cost himself the win by not pitting early. I think that was Chris Johnson's to lose once Mike had pitted to replace that wing. Adrian Newey delighted with his team's result, but yeah, I think that was a win that Mike is maybe slightly lucky to have, given Chris Johnson's strategical error, but still very solid drive from the Red Bull driver. So yeah, Mike Noonan from Jack and Chris Johnson on the podium, followed by Dom in P4, Baza an excellent 5th with Sam Hickey, driver of the day, in P6. Mr. Chiapelli in P7, what could have been for the AlphaTauri driver, picking up the fastest lap with a 1:11.6. Alex Zaffro comes home in P8 with Neljak P9, and Sayre Sports rounds out the top 10. Sir Tom Penguin comes home in P11 for the Renault team, followed by Blair Grills for McLaren, with Indecisive Mackie for Alfa Romeo coming home in P13, with Angel vs Death picking up the final point for Williams. Chris retired from the race again, another story of what could have been. He's running in the podium places at one point. Bossman Sean, just a week to forget for the Irishman. Smokey J's comes home 17th, followed by M Shep, Red Bull King, and Dark Shadow with another DNF twice this week. Another week to forget for Dark Shadow. But
just very quickly, just trying to work out what the championship standings will look like after that. You still there, Roy?
I am indeed, yeah. The crowd are loving it. Don't quite know what they're cheering, but they're happy regardless.
So after that, after these races, then of course penalties could still be applied. Obviously, we've now got 2 wins for Mike Noon, 2 wins for Luquette, 2 wins for Jack so far this season, and Jack has got 109 points. Mike Noon is on 106, and Luquette is on 97. And then Dom is a bit way back on 68 with Chris Johnson on 66, and there's obviously other points in there as well to be applied, but it is so close between those top 3. It could be like this all through the season.
Can't wait to see it. Should be still all to play for, still very early in the season, still a lot of races still to go, and hopefully you will tune in next week to see more of that action and to see how the story unfolds. So I'll see you next week for some TGP2 action.